Hello, everybody. My name is Aline, and I'm a consultant of the Information Lab. And today I will be your guide to build a more robust workflow. If you have any question, please drop them into the Q&A chat. And for your information, this session is recorded. So today, what is our problem? So in fact, we want to analyze the number of newly built houses in England over the last 20 years. So the data comes in yearly files, and we want to make our workflow robust enough to avoid duplicate inputs and to ensure that we are receiving data only for new built properties. So by making a solution more robust, we can ensure that this workflow doesn't take a high amount of effort to maintain. So today we will learn how to use the message tool, the test tool, and the crew macros from Adam Riley. Before building the workflow, I will quickly show you what are these tools. So the first one is the message tool. So this tool displays messages or errors in the result window in Alteryx Designer. So if you select before rows where expression is true, then it's to evaluate rows with an expression. So if the row evaluates to true, a message is returned to the result window. If it's false, it won't be written. And then at the end, so you can choose your message type, the message priority, and at the end, at the bottom, you have the message expression that you can create a relevant log message that will be seen in the result window. The second tool is the test tool. So this tool will help you to verify data or processes in a workflow. So since the test tool accepts multiple inputs, with a single test tool, you can create multiple tests. So the tool will notify you with a descriptive error message if your test criteria are not met. So we will see an example in our workflow. And the last tools, in fact, it's the crew macros. So it's a collection of tools built by a third party that enhance the functionality of Alteryx Designer. So in fact, be aware that the crew runner macros, so the runner, the conditional runner, and the list runner are the only crew macros supported by Alteryx, but for Alteryx Designer only. So be aware that they are not supported when they are used on Alteryx server. Yes, so we will use that for the Alteryx Designer. So in this collection of macro, you have the runner tool. So in fact, this tool allows you to run a specific workflow. And it has two, we will see that. It has two output anchors, so success and failure. And the log parser tools, in fact, whenever you run an Alteryx workflow, a set of log files are generated in a plain text file. So the information is stored in these logs, and then it can be valuable for understanding why a workflow failed. So in fact, this tool will bring that information into a structured data table. All right, so now let's start with the workflow. So this is the complete workflow that we will build together today. So I will open the starting workflow. I hope you have it open as well. I will just have a look at the Q&A if someone has a question. Don't hesitate, if I'm going too fast, also don't hesitate to stop me. So we start with this directory tool. So in fact, this tool returns a list of files that are contained in a directory and relevant files attributes. So in this case, I I use a static file, but you can also use a relative file. So you need to also point that to your directory where these files are. So because it's yearly file, so if I open here, input, so you see for each year I have a file. So I want to read it at the same time. So I just run it. And then you see that we have the file name, we have attribute about all of these files. The size, the creation time. So now I would like to check if there is any duplicate. I don't want to process the same file. So I will use a unique tool. So I drop a unique here and I make the connection. And so I will select creation time and also the size. So I run it. And in fact, I would like to receive a message if I have any file that I duplicate. So I will drag a message tool here. So you see on the top, the message tool, it's in my favorite, but if you don't have it, you can search for it in the search bar, so message tool, or you can also find it in the developer category in gray. So I recommend you to put it in category. Then let me drop it message. Yes, back to my favorite. Then message here. So in fact, I want a message when I have a duplicate. So I will connect this message tool to the D anchor. So in the configuration, let me maybe make this bigger. So I select, I want to send the message before the rows where expression is true. In this case, our expression is true because the unique is true or false. Okay, then the message type would be yes, a warning, and then the message priority will keep it to normal. And in fact, now I can write a message. So, whoop. So the message will be, in fact, I think I forget to send you the cheat sheet. So I will drop it into the chat like this. You can copy paste it. But in this case, it will be this. Let me copy paste this. File plus the file name appears to be a duplicate file and was not processed. I just add it to the chat. Up. Yes, so sorry, I sent it 2 times. And I click OK. I run it. And in this case, I don't have any duplicates. So I don't have any, when I look at my result window, I don't have any warning. But in case I would have a duplicate, I would have a warning here that would say, okay, file, this is the name of the file, appears to be a duplicate file and was not processed. So I will just wait, yes, 1 minute for you to copy paste this sentence in the tool. So once my message tool is configured, I need actually to read all of the file in my input folder. So I will drag, what is it, a dynamic a dynamic, sorry, I forget the name. A dynamic input, sorry. So dynamic input, where is it? Dynamic input here. So I drag it in this blue box, and then I connect the unique answer to it. And here I will just set the path to a file from my input folder. So you have input here. I will just select NewBird 2000, click open, and that's it. I click OK. And then I need to read the full path. And for the action, I will change for the entire the file path. Okay, I hit run. And then I have all of my files here, all of my data sets together. So it's more than 2 million rows. All right, so first for the dynamic input, so you edit your parse. Then from the reader list of data source, the field should be the full path, and the action is to change the entire file base. So now I need to check if the data contains NewBirds only. So I need to filter this column, NewBird, and I need to only take the yes. So if it's NewBird, in fact. So I will do it from here, filter, yeah, hi, apply. Then I will add it to the canvas, like this. I run it. But in fact, I would like, so yes, everything is newly built, sorry. But I would like to have a message that warn me if I have, if I don't have a NewBird in this data set. So here I will drag a message, the message tool, and I will say, oh no, it's not a message, sorry, it's the test tool, because I want to test if I have more than 0 records. If I have at least 1 record in the false anchor, then I want a message. So in fact, it's the test tool. So I drag the test, and in fact, now I can add a new test. So test name would be check data contains NewBirds only. Input connection is 1 because you can add as many tests as you want. So here I have only 1. Is the disconnection. So the test type is to count the records if yes, record count match specific value. So here the specific value is 0 because I don't want to have any any records in this anchor. So I click OK. I run it. So, and you see, I don't have anything. So let's show you what it will be if my test is running. So if I put no, for example, I should have records then in the false, and you see I have records. And you can see it in the result window. Let me make it bigger. So you see test 96, the test check data contains NewBird only failed. And in fact, normally the expected number of records should be 0, but in fact, we are, yes, more than 2 million. So it's the entire data set. But then you get the idea of what would happen if this test fail. Okay, so I will switch for yes. All right, and I will run it. Then I have my dataset complete with all of the NewBird houses. But in fact, now I would need to to filter to the full price sales. So I will add again another filter here, and I select PPD category equals A. I run it. And then, in fact, I need to, because I want to look by year, and I have a date field. So it's a date, and I would like a new column with the year. So I will just make a new column to take only the year part of the date field. So I will use a formula tool. I will also copy paste the formula in the chat. Voilà. So it's a new column here. Okay, and in fact, it's I take the left part of the date and I transform it into a number. So don't forget to change the data type here for an integer. Right. I run it, and now I need to aggregate this data set by district, county, property type, and year. So I will add a summarize tool. So I drag this tool here. And so I aggregate by district, I group by county, also by year. Need to also count the number of transactions. So let me select transaction ID and count. And also I also to group by yes, property type and group by. So I run it. Okay, so now I have this data set. So it's the number of property transaction by district and country for each year. And in fact, I have another data set here. It's the shapefiles of the authorities, so by county and authority. So I would like to join this shapefile to my data set. So I will use a join tool. So I will collect my first data set to the left and the shapefile to the right. And I will use the county. And from the shapefile, I will use county authority. Okay, I run. And then, it's not finished. Right. So in the join, I have the shapefile and match with my data. But on the left join, I still have, yes, 5,000 of rows of district that doesn't match with my shapefiles. So I will try to match based on the district and not on the county this time. So I will use another join, take the unmatched district counties from the left and put the shapefile again into the right. But this time, instead of the county, I will use the district as a key field. And on the right, it should be again the county authority. So I run it. So you see now we have only 870 records that are unmatched. So yes, I would like to know which records are unmatched. I will create a message for that. So I will, yes, but first let me summarize this because it will be a bit too much. So let me summarize by district, country, and also take the first year and the last year. Yes, max. So the minimum, the first year, I will change from, rename it from, And the last year, I will rename it 2. Okay, let me run this just to have a look at what it looks like. Okay, so I will add now a message tool to say before rows where expression is true, then again, my expression is still true here. Message type, I will keep that one, message, and the priority as well. So my message expression, I will copy paste also the expression in the chat. Okay, so it will be this. So in fact, you take the district, the county, and you look at from, for example, 2000 to 2020 does not have a matching shapefile. So I click OK, and I will run it, and like this I can show you what it will look like in the result window. Okay, up. And then you see, let me make it maybe a bit bigger. So you have message 103. So for example, pool from 2080 does not have a matching shapefile. So like this, we know that this shapefile doesn't match. Back. And in fact, I want to, the last step is to output the matched data. So I will use a union and take the two join here. And we'll add an output data. In this case, yes, it can be a Tableau Hyper, for example. Up. Output. Buildings. Okay. And then I can run it and I have my output data. So in this workflow, we used the test tool and the message tool. And now I will show you how to, so maybe I will wait 2 minutes, like this you can maybe continue, and then I will show you how to use the crew macros with this workflow. All right, so I hope you all managed to create this. I hope it wasn't too fast. So if you have any questions, please drop them into the Q&A chat. And now I will explain what are the crew runner tools. So in fact, so it's a collection of tools that you can find on this data set. Okay, so I don't know if you see the website, so it's carolwaileswithins.com. So maybe I will, yes, it will be in the follow-up email. So it's a macro, so you have to download it and to open it in Apteryx Designer. So in this example workflow, I added first the runner. So it's like adding a macro. So you right click and you insert macro here, and then you will find it in my list. But my list is document, yes, maybe crew, and then macro, and then you have the list of macro here. So it will be the runner. Okay, and then you have it. So we'll just, yes, remove it. So in fact, in this macro, it allows you to run a specific workflow. So it has two output anchors, success and failure. So when you look at the configuration, I have to put the path where my workflow, so this workflow that we built together, is running. And then you have two anchor, success. In this case, it didn't succeed, and have error. So when I look at it, you see I have the logs here. And I need the other macro called the log parser. So same as this one. So you can insert, like you insert a normal macro. So it will be a log parser, this one. And in fact, you connect each answer of the runner to the log parser. And then you union them. And at the end, you have the logs, so the information that you have when you run the workflow, you have it in the logs here. So you see we have the message, but it's null, and then you have the error. In fact, I have an invalid directory. So at the end, I will have a file with these logs. So it's pretty straightforward. I will show you what it will look like when the workflow succeed. Let me open it. Output, this one. So you see here, it's yes, it's what I will have. For example, the workflow that we built together was quite successful. So it's what you see in the result window. So it can be really, yes, useful when you try to understand what happened understanding why your workflow failed, for example, or succeed if you want to see the message. For example, you have all of the message here with the shapefile that doesn't match. What else do we have? Yes, that's it. Yes, you see message, 20 unique records and 0 duplicates. So this kind of information, then you will get it as a CSV. But for that, you need two macros. So the runner and the log parser. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for today. Let me know. Yes, I hope you could follow, and let me know if you have any question. I will stay, and you can drop the question in the Q&A. And thank you very much. Yes, for being part of this workshop today. Next week, you can also register. We will speak about in database tools. So let me know if you have question. I'm staying. If not, I hope you enjoyed, and maybe see you next week.